All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Let me see why that seems to be a little blurry. Let me see if I can fix that. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. If you guys can hear me, if you can see me well on the camera also, let me know. This is the first time I've actually used a camera on live stream, so it's definitely pretty interesting. So let me know if you guys can hear me. If you can type like a 1 in the chat or just let me know what's going on out there, I would appreciate it. Everything legible for you guys too. Just want to make sure that this is all good. It's not looking too bad, right? All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some severe weather happening today in and around the Pittsburgh area. Let me show you on the radar here. We got this pretty big area of a severe thunderstorm watch. This was issued earlier on today. This is until 10 p.m. tonight. A couple tornadoes are possible. Scattered hail up to 2-inch in size is likely, so that's definitely pretty big hail. We got some scattered wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour likely as well, so we're going to have to watch these storms as they come through. Unfortunately, my area is very prone to power outages as well as a lot of areas around the Pittsburgh area, so we're going to have to watch that very carefully as we go on throughout the day. We do have some storms coming in. So they are over into Ohio, crossing into West Virginia, heading into Pennsylvania as we speak. And these look like they're going to go right over towards Ambridge, Bell Acres, even up towards Moon Township, Coriopolis, Ohio Township, Ross Township, and then through Allison Park. So you guys have been getting hit up here, up towards Russellton, New Kensington, Lower Borough. You guys have been getting hit for about, I'd say probably about the past half an hour or so, 45 minutes. So unfortunately, you guys are pretty well versed in the severe weather so far today. Luckily, there was no severe warnings up there. The only severe warning, let me see if there's any active. Yeah, the only severe warning right now is over here towards Lock Haven. So that's the only severe warning that's in the area at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if these storms here, looks like they are starting to congeal into a line. And unfortunately, it does look like they are gaining strength, especially on the southern side here. This is coming towards Provo, New Somerset, New Cumberland, heading into Frankfort Springs, down through Robinson. And this could impact the Moon Township area, Coriopolis. We're going to have to watch these storms as they come through. But yeah, as I said, we are in a severe thunderstorm watch at the moment. This is for western Maryland, far eastern Ohio, western and central Pennsylvania, northern West Virginia. This is from 3:40 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. Looking at scattered large hail with up to 2 inches in diameter, scattered damaging winds with wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour possible, and one or two tornadoes could definitely be squeezed out during this event as well. Thunderstorms are expected to increase this afternoon as the cold front moves southeast through the region. Storms may start as individual cells, which include supercells, capable of producing large hail, but over time these storms are expected to form into a line, increasing the risk for strong damaging winds. And as I said, a tornado or two is possible, but the overall risk is very low due to limited moisture near the ground. So conditions are favorable for severe weather, so stay alert, monitor updates, and be ready for warnings. Severe storms can sometimes produce tornadoes. So we're definitely going to have to watch these storms as they come through. Looks like a line is definitely forming over towards East Liverpool, heading into the Robinson area. Most likely, we may even get impacted here in the Pittsburgh area. We shall see what happens here. We have a line up to the north as well, heading through Cranberry at the moment. And it does look like this is going to head into Clintonville, Monroe, down through Limestone, Somerville, and then eventually this is going to push off down to the southeast. This is going to go through Phillipsburg, State College, areas like that. Let's take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning that we have going on near Lock Haven. It's a pretty nasty looking storm. So it looks like the National Weather Service issued this at, let me see. Okay, so this is until 4:45. So it's actually going to expire in about 12 minutes. This is for Lock Haven, Bellefonte, Woodward, Lamar, Zion, Millhall, and Avis. Looks like we have 60 mile per hour damaging winds with this storm and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. So that's pretty big. So hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Lock Haven, Bellefonte, Woodward, Lamar, Zion, Millhall, Avis, Dunstown, Flemington, Castania. Hope I'm pronouncing some of these names right. Sorry, guys, I'm very good at butchering names. And this is going to do right across Interstate 80. This includes areas between the Snowshoe and Jersey Shore exits, specifically between mile markers 157 and 190. This also includes Interstate 99 from mile markers 83 to 85. So max hail size 1 inch and 60 mile per hour wind gusts are expected from this storm. So it looks like Tylersville, you guys are in the middle of this storm. This is going to head towards Mifflinburg here, down through Northumberland, Sunbury, and down through Sellens Grove as well, and eventually over towards Snydertown as well, guys. So definitely be on the lookout for these storms. Definitely could be pretty strong. Let's head back on into the Pittsburgh area. Vandergrift, you guys, and Apollo, you guys are getting hammered by another storm. It looks like it's pretty elongated in nature. Let me see here. Yeah, so it's mostly a wind and rain event at the moment. Doesn't look like any severe weather is happening. Let me see if I can pull up the hail, see if there's any hail. Looks like there's a little bit of hail coming down. Most likely, if any hail is hitting the surface, it's most likely going to be about pea-sized or maybe even smaller than that. Over towards Ohioville, crossing the Ohio border into Pennsylvania, heading into Beaver County here. We could definitely see some dime-sized hail, maybe some penny-sized hail coming in. This is heading in towards 5 Points and eventually towards Merrill, Center Township, Economy, and then eventually over towards Wexford area as well. So guys in Wexford, definitely get to your safe spot. Try to get off the roads if you can. This is going to be pretty strong cell coming in here. So I'm going to continue monitoring this throughout the day. Let me know if you guys like all of this. I do have a weather intensity score there out of 500. Pittsburgh area is at 149 right now. So a severe thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm watch is active, and the near-term severe signal appears limited. And the current temperature is 84 degrees, dew point at 48, and the relative humidity at 44%. And looks like there's only one severe thunderstorm warning active in the area. It's actually raining outside my house right now. So most likely it is due to this cell right here. Does sound like there's a little bit of rain out there, not too crazy. Sorry guys, just looking back out the window over there. And also you may see my two cats come on stream every once in a while. They might enter the room and try to jump on the keyboard and things. It's normally what they do. But yeah, definitely looks like the storm is impacting my area. Let me see if I can see any hail. Quite possibly a little bit, but very, very small. Let me look at storm relative velocity there. Yeah, it looks like it's not too strong there, but it sounded like there was a rumble of thunder out there. I don't see any thunder on the app showing up yet, but this storm is definitely going to be a doozy as these come in. And we have to watch out for these storms that train like this, because flash flooding can easily happen, especially when you see these storms in a line like this. So if you look for down through Sugar Creek, all the way through Leesville, Amsterdam, New Cumberland, all the way up towards Aliquippa and through Beaver, we're going to have to watch these storms very carefully. I wouldn't be surprised if a flash flood warning gets issued, most likely towards Midland, Center Township, and up through Wexford and Russellton as well. And this will most likely include Lower Borough and New Kensington, just because of these storms training across the area. Let me take this severe thunderstorm watch off for you guys. There we go. Now we can see the radar a little bit more clearly. And it does look like these storms are building off of a boundary, maybe an outflow boundary from earlier. So right in here, looks like there's some a little bit of a boundary forming there that came through. These storms up to the north, we're going to have to watch this one coming through Clintonville, heading towards Turkey City, Monroe, and Clarion. It definitely looks like it's very strong, has torrential rainfall, most likely some 40 to 45 mile per hour winds in it as well. It does look like it has a very, very broad mesocyclone on it. I'm not seeing much in the way of rotation at the moment, but we'll definitely keep an eye out on this, because this is definitely a sneaky setup today in terms of the potential for tornadoes. Again, we are in a 2 to 4% tornado risk today, so it does seem pretty low, but it's non-zero, so you guys definitely be careful out here. Let me pull up the oops, wrong one. There we go. Let's pull up the SPC outlook today just to go over that, guys. All right, so you can see we are in an enhanced risk across the area here. This extends from, let's see, Port Washington, all the way down through Woodsfield, New Martinsville. This does include the Morgantown area as well. Fairmont, you guys are in the slight risk down here. So I'll definitely be watching you guys as well. I know a lot of viewers from Facebook may be coming over to YouTube to check it out. But I will keep an eye on the area down here for you guys as well. It looks like most of the storms right now are to the north. And that is expected. That's what the models were trending to, and just the overall setup definitely looks like it's going to be when the front sags down to the southeast, these storms are going to be developing and heading down to the south, so they're eventually going to make it down to your area. Like I said, I'll keep an eye out on it for sure. Looks like this severe thunderstorm warning did get extended, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Just want to see some of these storms coming in. Definitely could be some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds in here. I wouldn't be surprised if the hail may be ramping up here, especially in this cell. Yeah, there we go. Over towards Provo, New Somerset. This is going to head over towards Stratton, New Manchester, eventually into Kendall. And this is going to come into Leetsdale, McCandless, and looks like it's going to go right into Arnold and New Kensington. Let's see here. This is most likely going to be in about an hour or so, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Let me go back to the radar for you guys. Yeah, like I said, I'll definitely keep an eye out for northern West Virginia. I know you guys, there's definitely a lot of anxiety with these storms today, especially with the wordage that the National Weather Service was using. They were using hen egg size hail earlier today, which, to me is very interesting. I've never really heard of hen egg before, so that's pretty cool to measure it in size like that. Let me turn this off for you guys. So as I said, there is a broad 2% chance, 2 to 4% chance of tornadoes today. This actually extends all the way back into Illinois, across Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, down into northern West Virginia, and into Maryland as well. This does include Fairmont down through Clarksburg and West Milford as well. So if you guys are down in this area, definitely keep on the lookout for tornadoes. Make sure you guys are charging your phones at the moment. If you can, if you're watching my broadcast, definitely charge your phones while watching it. Definitely wouldn't want you to lose power, and then you have no way to communicate. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting day today, folks. If storms do, once these storms do come through, if they do get down to my area, I'm probably going to try to go outside and get some footage of them. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on out there. This storm actually just came through my area. It's heading through the city of Pittsburgh at the moment. Let me see if I can pull up the camera. All right, let me wait for this to pop up for you guys. We're still sitting at about 82 degrees here in the Pittsburgh area, so it's definitely very warm outside. Luckily, the dew points are actually into the upper 40s, which is very interesting for this time of year and with the severe storms coming through. Let me see if I can pull that up for you as well. There we go. Yeah, so dew points are at 48 degrees. If the dew points were actually a little bit higher, if they were into the 50s and even in the 60s, this would most likely be a moderate risk event instead of an enhanced risk, unfortunately. But it does look like we're in some kind of saving grace here for sure, because these storms could definitely pack a punch, an even greater punch than they're going to later on, especially if we were in an enhanced, in a moderate risk today. So let me pull this up for you guys real quick. All right, there we go. So you guys can view this from EarthCam. It's a pretty good website. I'm not entirely sure how long I can stream this for before another ad pops up, but I just want to show you guys what's going on in Pittsburgh there. So let's just pull that up. You can see rain, and possibly, looks like it's just rain at the moment. Let me see if there's any hail mixing in there. No, it looks like it's mostly rain there. Definitely some pretty big drops falling there, guys. If you can see that, it's pretty neat. All right, let me take this down. Yeah, so as these storms come through, we'll definitely pull up that camera a little bit and check to see what's going on out there. Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining, that's for sure. It's definitely a pretty active day. And the weather intensity score here, just want to show you guys, in Pittsburgh, it is at 227 out of 500. Severe thunderstorm watch is active. Stronger storms remain possible. This storm is definitely pretty strong coming through Pittsburgh. Looks more of a rain and wind event coming through. But as it moves off to the east, we're going to have to continue to watch this because it does look a little bit more favorable out towards Delmont, New Alexandria, White, and Blairsville. So as this storm comes through, we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Let's check on this severe thunderstorm warning up to the north. Severe thunderstorm warning, southeastern Venango County. Let me push this over so you guys can see. So we're talking about this area right here. This is coming through Knox, Clarion, Brookville, and Du Bois is right on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I do think this will get extended as it comes through. So the severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles west of Knox, moving east at 70 miles per hour. So this storm is rocketing on through, folks. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. So hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Clarion, Brooksville, Knox, Reynoldsville, Brockway, Sykesville, Falls Creek, Sligo, Emmleton, Strattonville, Somerville, Limestone, Shippenville, St. Petersburg, Corsica, Kenderdale, Callinsburg, Seigel, Foxburg, and Fisher. So seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. This storm is capable of producing damaging winds and large hail. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on this storm. Sounds like it's raining again outside my area. Maybe we'll get some hail out here. That'd be pretty neat to see. So hopefully you guys aren't caught out in this or driving in it. Definitely doesn't sound like a fun time out there. Sounds like a lot of rain coming down, actually pretty big drops. All right, let me pull up the wind, the SPC wind forecast for today as well. So we're actually in a 30% risk today. Yeah, so 30% chance for wind and hail as well. Let me just read this just for a second here. Yeah, very steep mid-level lapse rates out there suggest large to very large hail up to 1.5 to 2.5 inches in diameter. And the main threat with supercells, high cloud bases, and steep low-level lapse rates also support the potential for strong downbursts as well, and as trend towards upscale growth in a more linear mode as it moves east and southeastward across Pennsylvania. And that's basically what we're seeing. So if you guys can see this linear mode here, we do have a couple of cells forming out in front of this here. One right over Pittsburgh, Munhall, Penn Hills, Monroeville. Another one forming over Sturgeon, heading over towards Carnegie. But you can see the linear structure just to the north. So this goes from Indiana through Vandergrift, New Kensington, McCandless, New Cumberland. You see that kind of linear structure there. So yeah, we're going to have to watch these storms as they come through. Let me go over to this severe thunderstorm warning for you guys. This one looks a little bit more interesting. This is heading towards Penns Creek, New Berlin, down through Selinsgrove as well, and through Sunbury. Bald Eagle State Forest is getting absolutely hammered right now, and we're looking at Whitekurt and Pardee, and eventually towards Laurel Park, and down through Fisher's Ferry and Freeburgs. We're going to have to watch this very carefully as this storm comes through. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Center County in central Pennsylvania, southeastern Clinton County in north central Pennsylvania, northeastern Mifflin County in central Pennsylvania, and Snyder County in central Pennsylvania, and southern Union County in central Pennsylvania. So at 4:38 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Millheim, moving east at 65 miles per hour. So you can see these storms are rocketing through. The last storm we took a look at, 70 miles per hour. This one's moving at 65. The hazards are 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Locations impacted include Selinsgrove, Northumberland, Mifflinsburg, Woodward, Winfield, Lamar, Schmoken Dam, Hummel's Wharf, Middleburg, Millheim, Creamer, and Port Trevorton. So definitely be on the lookout in those areas as well. Max hail size is 1 inch. Wind threat, 60 mile per hour winds. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much in the way of rotation there. There could be something trying to form there over Whitekurt and Pardee. We'll have to keep an eye out on this storm as it comes through. See these cells right here. So this one going through Fox Chapel, Oakmont, eventually through Plum, and this is going to head on towards Clarksburg, and eventually over towards Homer City. These cells are going to pack a punch, folks. These are sort of semi-discrete cells coming in. They're just out ahead of this line. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this. This is a pretty interesting cell too. So this is down near Carnegie, Heidelberg, heading over towards Green Tree, Mount Oliver, Homestead, and then eventually this is going to overtake Braddock and Turtle Creek. So we'll watch these cells as they progress forward and see what their strength is as they come through. Definitely looks like they're going to be increasing in strength and intensity. Same thing, strength and intensity and number and just in coverage as we head on through the evening hours here, late afternoon and evening hours. I wouldn't be surprised if these storms get severe thunderstorm warnings on them as well. This is up near Hermitage and heading into Mercer. So these few cells, these ones seem a little bit more discreet, so we're going to have to watch these carefully. Unfortunately, these are going to go over the same areas that are under a severe thunderstorm warning currently, like Knox, Monroe, Turkey City, over through Clarion, Brookville, and down through Sandy Valley, Reynoldsville, Prescottville, and Sykesville. So definitely keep an eye out on these storms as they come through. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning going on over near Sunbury, Middleburg, Penns Creek. And let me take these, let me take this off so we can see the radar a little bit more clearly there. And you can see that linear structure right here. So from Indiana all the way over through Sunbury and Johnstown. So this is over in Ohio. Unfortunately, like I said, there's most likely going to be some flash flood warnings issued here just because of the way these storms are training, and one tracking over the area and then another one and then another one. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a good situation. If you do encounter floodwaters, folks, turn around, don't drown. Your life is way more important than where you're going. Yeah, so it's definitely not a good idea to go through floodwaters at all. This storm up here is looking a little bit more concerning. We got this little appendage on the back side of this storm. So this is over towards Monroe, Turkey City. Yeah, it could possibly be trying to wrap up a little bit here, so we're going to have to watch this one. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good, folks. This one's definitely trending in the wrong direction. We definitely don't want tornadoes to appear today. These ones are a little bit more concerning too, up towards Fowler Township, Hartford Township, up towards Reynolds Heights. Eventually, this is going to head towards Oniontown, 5 Points, over towards Sandy Lake, Wallace Corners, and through Twin Churches and Boley Hill. And we'll see how these storms do. And then these ones down here near Sharpsville, Clark, Hermitage, eventually heading on to Mercer, Jackson Center. And then the storms out ahead of it are going to start going into Kenderdale, Rockland, Pittsville. So we'll definitely watch for that as well. That's funny. You could, right? Yeah. All right,
Hi, I'm Zach's biggest fan, and I'm here to get an autograph. Thank you.
No, this is fantastic. I don't even think I have a pen.
I guess I should have brought one up.
No, that's okay. Would you like it signed in blood? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is my fiance Lydia, soon-to-be wife.
Hi.
So actually,
no, this is the camera.
that's the camera right there.
That's
Yeah.
the camera. That's the one.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, yeah. So April 21st, next month, we're actually gonna get married and have a small celebration, small ceremony, but it's gonna be absolutely fantastic.
I still want the autograph. I'm gonna sell it on eBay.
On eBay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get much money on there, but I'll gladly sign it for you. There you go.
Sweet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at some of these storms coming through. And it looks like another one is getting ready to come through. Looks like Fayetteville. This is going to head over towards Carnegie, Pennsbury Village, Green Tree, Mount Oliver, just south of the Pittsburgh area, but the northern part of the storm may be impacting just the southern portions of Pittsburgh, so Mount Washington, Allentown, and the south side slopes. But unfortunately, we are going to have to watch, like I said, for these training storms. This is going to be basically an all-day event with some of these storms. This one up near Hartford Township looks like it's definitely starting to increase in intensity there. A little bit more lightning showing up on radar as well. Indications of a strengthening storm. This one's over towards Clarion. It looks like it has decreased in intensity just a little bit. So that's good news. This appendage isn't as well defined as it was before. So that's definitely good news as we head on into the evening. Unfortunately, you can see these temperature contrast here, 69 degrees. This is right in between Allen's Mills and Pardus here. And then just off to the east, you can see 78 degrees. So it's basically, almost a 10-degree difference there in temperature, which definitely bodes ill for that area. So we're going to have to watch out for the storms coming through there. Again, it's raining outside, just south of the Pittsburgh area here. So it's definitely, it's coming down out there. could potentially see some flash flooding in my area as well. Looks like I'm going to be a little bit south of the actual main storms here. It's very interesting that all of these storms are most likely going to pass over the radar site here in Moon Township, up towards Carno and Edgeworth and Bond Mead here. Yeah, it's going to be an active night, folks. If we get any severe thunderstorm warnings in our area, I will probably grab my phone and attempt to go outside and film some of these storms coming through. I actually just got a new cell phone mount for the car. I also got the digital camera mount as well. So if we do any storm chasing this season, which I really hope to get out there and do some chasing, today's just not one of the... it's not really one of those days that I want to be out there at the moment. Just have a lot of things going on at the house and just want to take care of that. So yeah, it looks like it's definitely trending up in intensity with some of these storms. Little area of convergence happening here over towards Frankfort Springs, heading into Moon Township, Coriopolis. 83 degrees there. These storms are coming out of an area 84 degrees, so I mean basically the same environment here. If we go off to the north, you can see how cold these storms have actually made the air up here. So you can see down here, let me just show you, Pittsburgh International Airport, 83 degrees. And we head up to the north here, go up towards Franklin and Lamberton Field, PA. It's 61 degrees up there. Unfortunately, the temperature and the dew point are a little bit closer up there. There's some rumbling of thunder coming through. I don't know if you guys caught that on the mic. Let me see. Let me see what that's about. Yeah, there's definitely some big raindrops coming down out there for sure. Let me see if I can pull up the Pittsburgh camera real quick and see what's going on out there. Sounds like a little bit heavier rain out there coming down. Eventually, I want to get a camera that I can put out on the roof of the house so that way we can see what's going on out there. But yeah, it's definitely coming down out there. We got a lot of heavy rain coming in. Definitely some big drops. I don't see any hail right now, just looking through the window. Let me get up and see if I can see any hail coming down. Hang on one second, guys. Alright, so it doesn't look like any hail's coming down. Definitely some big drops. I wouldn't be surprised if some hail actually starts coming down in my area. Probably in the next, I'd say, maybe 45 minutes to an hour or so. And here we go. This storm up to the north is looking a little bit more concerning. Once again, it's got that well-defined, semi-well-defined appendage coming down. So this is just to the southwest of Clarion. So let me see if I can get a picture there of the velocity coming through. Definitely looks like there's a mesocyclone with that storm. Looks like it's more broad rotation. I don't really see much in terms of very compact rotation at the moment. But yeah, the tornado risk could be ramping up here up towards Clarion, down through Corsica, Brookville, Emmerickville, down through Sandy Valley, and Pancoast, Reynoldsville, as well, and Sykesville. So if you guys are in any of those locations that I mentioned, you definitely want to get to a safe spot in your house. If you don't have a basement, you want to get to the interior-most room and the lowest level of your house, and stay away from windows, and bring your pets indoors, and just be careful in general out there, because it's definitely going to be a pretty strong storm coming through. This is going to come through Corsica, Roseville, Alaska, Brookville, Emmerickville, Sandy Valley, Pancoast, Reynoldsville, Prescottville, and Sykesville, just to reiterate there. And unfortunately, you guys aren't done. There's a couple more storms coming in behind you guys, and there's another severe thunderstorm warning. Just to the north, this is up towards Ridgeway, St. Mary's, Coal Hollow, Toby, Brandy Camp, and Burndale. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So the National Weather Service in State College, Pennsylvania, has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Elk County in north central Pennsylvania until 5:45 p.m. At 5:01 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Portland Mills, moving east at 60 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is the hazard. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include St. Mary's, Ridgeway, Johnsonburg, Force, Benezet, Medics Run, Brandy Camp, Portland Mills, Brockport, Hicks Run, Kersey, and Weedville. So it looks like the max hail size is under 3/4 of an inch at the moment, and the maximum wind gust 60 miles per hour. So we'll keep an eye on all these storms heading in. I'm actually surprised at this one heading in towards Clearfield and eventually into Sylvan Grove and Grass Flat. I'm surprised this one doesn't have at least a special weather statement on it, because there is a lot of rain coming in. And there's actually some hail forming here as well. It's probably under severe limits at the moment. Most likely could be, I would say, maybe nickel size hail, maybe even a little bit smaller, maybe dime size. So yeah, we'll have to watch this cell coming into Clearfield. There's a lot of rain in that storm. It's a nasty looking cell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning here over in Ohio. This is for Utica. This is going to start heading towards West Carlisle and Cooperdale through New Moscow and Franklin, eventually towards Coshocton. So the National Weather Service in Wilmington has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Delaware County in central Ohio, northern Licking County in central Ohio, until 5:45 p.m. So at 5:02 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Johnstown, moving east at 45 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Minor hail damage to vehicles is possible. Expect wind damage to trees, power lines, and most likely roofs of housing as well. It's going to be near Johnstown, Utica, New Albany, Hartford, St. Louisville, Fredonia, Fallsburg, U.S. Route 62 at State Route 661, and Purity. Just wanted to make sure that I could see that right. So this is definitely an interesting cell. Looks like a cell merger, kind of. Looks like this cell on the back side is merging with this main cell, and we'll see what that does to the actual overall intensity. This could actually spin up a brief tornado if all the ingredients line up properly. Looks like very, very broad rotation over Johnstown at the moment. We'll keep an eye out on this storm as well as it comes through. Yeah, Pittsburgh is definitely getting hit by this cell right here. So you can see the intensity score was up over 250. Now it's back down to 227 at the moment. So I try to have that weather intensity score update every 3 minutes. So it might actually miss some of the most intense parts of some storms, but it seems like it does a pretty good job. So current temperature 82 degrees, dew point 48, relative humidity 43%. So 4 severe thunderstorm warnings active in the region here. Let's take a look back at the Sunbury storm. Looks like a feeder band out in front towards Mount Pleasant Mills. We're going to have to watch that carefully as well. A little bit of tightening rotation there, but nothing very crazy, at least that I can see. And we'll see if this severe thunderstorm warning gets extended or not. If it does get extended, it will most likely include Rebuck, Letkill, Rough and Ready. That's an interesting name there, Rough and Ready. If you guys are from the town of Rough and Ready, if you're watching, definitely leave a comment. It would be legendary to meet somebody from that town. Go down through Higgins as well and Tremont. So we're going to have to watch that area carefully as well. And how these storms are sort of interacting with each other. So it's a very, very messy environment. We're going to have to watch this carefully right here up towards Warsaw over through Egypt. You can see this little appendage coming down right in here. So we're going to have to watch that. So just passing Egypt now. Little appendage coming down towards Water Sun, Day, Raider, Holden. So this is just off to the east of Clarion, over towards Brooksville. Yes, we're going to have to watch these storms carefully as they come through also. To watch the velocity aliasing here. Little bit of a rotation there, mezzo coming through Waterson and Day. That's probably the most concerning area that I see at the moment, other than this cell. And I'm really surprised that this cell does not have either a special weather statement or a severe thunderstorm warning on it. It looks like a very nasty cell. Clearfield, you guys are getting absolutely hammered right now. This is going to head towards Kylertown, Grass Flat, Peel, over towards State Game Lands, number 103. Over towards Gum Stump, Milesburg, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sylvan Grove, and watch out down here in Winburn, just near the radar site here. We're going to have to watch Winburn and Munson very carefully as this storm comes through, because the strongest part, or the most concerning part of the storm, is this little appendage coming down. It does look like there's a interesting inflow coming into the storm, but unfortunately, if anything does develop, tornado, otherwise, it's most likely going to be a rain-wrapped tornado, so we're going to have to watch that very carefully as we head on through the night. Looks like another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. This one's actually towards the south. So it looks like the back end of this storm, that cell merger, we have to watch this carefully, so we're going to have to watch these left and right movers here. Okay, so National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio, issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Franklin County in central Ohio, southeastern Delaware County in central Ohio, and southern Licking County in central Ohio. This is until 6 p.m. At 5:08 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Johnstown, moving east at 20 miles per hour. So this is definitely going to be one of those storms that you don't want to mess with, folks. It's only moving at 20 miles per hour. If you are on the roads out here, definitely try to pull off. Do not pull under an overpass, folks. That is not a good spot. You got to pull off into a parking lot somewhere, get into a sturdy structure. You don't want to hide under overpasses or underpasses. Unfortunately, the Venturi effect happens a little bit more there. So the winds can actually whip underneath those underpasses and overpasses, even stronger than what the storm is producing. So you can get debris that comes up underneath there, hits you. Also, you can create traffic jams, accidents, and you definitely don't want to be out there doing that. So if you can get to a safe shelter, I definitely advise you to do so if you're traveling out here. So this is this is Johnstown, Alexandria, Newark, over towards Hanover. So you guys got to be careful out there. 60-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar size hail. Minor hail damage to vehicles is possible. Expect wind damage to trees and power lines. Locations impacted include Columbus, Newark, Westerville, and it looks like Heath, Granville, Pataskala, Johnstown, Hebron, Beechwood Trails, Granville South, New Albany, Jersey, Alexandria, State Route 310 at State Route 161, Center Village, and Huber Ridge. This includes I-70 in Ohio near mile marker 128. So for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Like I said, don't park under underpasses, overpasses, anything like that. You want to get yourself indoors, away from windows. This definitely looks like a very strong cell. We're going to continue monitoring this as it comes closer to our area as well. Zoom out real quick, see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, I'm not liking this cell, guys. This cell looks like it's taken a turn for the worse. So the winds are sub 50 miles per hour, but unfortunately the hail has increased to ping pong ball size hail. So public actually reported 1.5 inch hailstones 2 miles southwest of Clarion. So people and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Like I said, folks, bring your pets indoors. Get yourself indoors as well. Check on your neighbors if you can. Stay away from windows, especially if you have big sliding glass windows, big bay windows, things like that. You don't want to be caught out in this. And again, don't take shelter underneath an overpass or underpass. I know that may seem like it's a good idea, but unfortunately, it's definitely not a good idea, folks. I'm just going to respond to this message real quick. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so this cell coming through Grove City looks pretty nasty. This is coming through Perry's Corner. It's going to go towards Barkeyville, down through Cherry Valley, and eventually towards Foxburg. Unfortunately, some of the same areas that got hit with storms earlier on today. Nasty cell coming through Pittsburgh. Most likely this weather intensity score is going to increase as the storm comes through. We're at 227 at the moment, so we have moderate impact in the Pittsburgh area. South Park Township, you guys are getting hammered. South Park as well. This is towards Broughton and Brewston, down through Experiment. This is going to head towards Guildhall and Clairton, and eventually down through Mount Vernon, Buena Vista, Yahogany, and eventually over towards, looks like, Keystone and Fulton. Yeah, these cells are pretty nasty. So we got another report of hail coming in. This is a big time hailstorm there. Nasty appendage coming in. We're going to have to watch this carefully. Krebs, you guys are getting hammered. Clearfield Junction, Mineral Springs, Pine Top, Bigler. This is heading over towards Huckenberry, Winburn, and Bear Knob as well. And we're getting hammered outside with rain once again. All right, so this will be a thunderstorm warning, so we're going to focus on this one over here towards Clearfield. Severe thunderstorm warning was issued for southwestern Center County and central Pennsylvania, central Clearfield County in central Pennsylvania at 5:10 p.m. A severe thunderstorm was located over Woodland, moving east at 55 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and nickel-size hail. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Clearfield, Park Forest Village, Phillipsburg, Woodland, Kerwinsville, Stormstown, very, very good name, very fitting. Hyde, Osceola Mills, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Plimptonville, Chester Hill, Snowshoe, and North Phillipsburg. For those driving on Interstate 80, this includes areas between Penfield and Milesburg exits, specifically from mile markers 113 to 153. This also includes Interstate 99 from mile markers 61 to 71. And again, folks, you don't want to hide or take shelter under underpasses, overpasses. An underpass constricts the airflow, which causes wind speeds to increase dramatically. And this is essentially an example of the Venturi effect, which is very interesting. I definitely highly recommend you guys look into the Venturi effect. So as air is forced into a smaller space, velocity will increase. Tornadic winds can accelerate even further under the bridge as well, and this can turn a bad situation into a lethal one. So yeah, you guys have to be very careful out there. You definitely don't want to be involved in any accidents. I've seen a lot of people, especially on max velocity stream, I've seen a lot of people hiding under underpasses and overpasses, and they actually start blocking traffic. And unfortunately, those happen in the midst of a tornado warning. So you definitely don't want to be caught out in that. Especially you can cause accidents. You can cause people to the highway to back up, and then if a tornado comes across there, you definitely don't want to block the highways because of that. Underpasses don't block the debris either. If there's debris flying through the air, they often focus it. So like flying objects such as wood, metal, glass, so that gets channeled through the opening. So you're essentially standing inside a projectile corridor, which you definitely don't want to be. And even small debris can become deadly at high velocities, unfortunately. The misconception, so if you guys want to know some historical things, I did some research on this research project in college regarding the 1999 Oklahoma tornado video, which is, unfortunately, there's a misconception that people can actually hide under overpasses and underpasses. Unfortunately, at the time, the people that in that video didn't understand the overall aspects of meteorology. I do think they were learning meteorology, but I don't think they understood the aspects back then in 1999. But yeah, it's created a false sense of safety, folks. So you definitely don't want to be underneath an underpass or an overpass as a storm comes through. It's definitely not a good thing. Underpasses do attract panic drivers. Unfortunately, this will create traffic jams. And you can also get trapped in your vehicle as well, and this prevents escape and increases the exposure. So you definitely won't want to do that. So if you're in a vehicle during a severe thunderstorm or a tornado, you should drive away. If escape is possible, get out, lie flat in a low ditch or depression, cover your head. If you're near a building, go inside immediately. Go to the lowest level, go to the interior room, and away from any windows possible. So you don't want to be under an underpass during events like this, even severe thunderstorms or even during tornadoes. Because that, like I said, that creates a localized region of enhanced kinetic energy and debris flux due to the flow constriction, turbulent eddy formation underneath there as well, and debris channeling. So it transforms it from shelter, quote unquote, to a high-risk aerodynamic hazardous zone, which you don't want to be. You definitely don't want to find yourself in. All right, folks. So this storm is actually going to impact me. Most likely in a little bit over maybe 45 minutes to an hour or so. So this is a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. So we are currently talking about this area right in here. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Carroll County in east central Ohio, northeastern Harrison County in east central Ohio, central Jefferson County in east central Ohio, northwestern Washington County in southwestern Pennsylvania, southwestern Beaver County in western Pennsylvania, Brooke County in northern West Virginia, and Hancock County in northern West Virginia. This is until 6 p.m. We've been on to the 40 minutes of this storm. At 5:18 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 11 miles north of Cadiz, moving east at 50 miles per hour. The hazard is quarter-size hail, so the winds must be underneath 58 miles per hour. Otherwise, there would be a tag for that. Damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Weirton, Steubenville, Toronto, Wintersville, Mingo Junction, Follinsby, Hooverson Heights, New Cumberland, Burgettstown, Hopedale, Scio, I'm not saying that right, Jewett, Berghols, Amsterdam, Richmond, New Manchester, Empire, Stratton, and Bloomingdale. So seek shelter inside of a well-built structure and stay away from windows. This storm is capable of producing large hail up to quarter size at the moment. Most likely it will get larger. And eventually this is going to head into my area. So we'll have to watch these storms as they come through. So the weather intensity score is still at 227. Looks like Pittsburgh's getting ready to get hit by a little bit more stronger winds here. See if I can see anything. Yeah, it's carving its way through, that's for sure. We're still dealing with ping pong ball size hail out here up towards Sandy Valley, Pan Coast, and definitely be in your safe spot over towards DuBois and Sandy as well. So it could impact you guys. So you guys definitely have to be on the lookout for those storms. Got some $50 size hail falling out here. This is towards Utica, so just to your south. If you look to your south, you can see most likely you're going to see some nasty looking clouds. This is just came through Johnstown here. This is going to head up towards Cooperdale, West Carlisle, New Moscow, Tyrone, Franklin, Coshocton. So definitely be on the lookout. Coshocton, you guys are getting ready to get hit by this storm. Unfortunately, the big time severe weather is just behind that. So the storm that's coming through now is not the severe storm, as weird as that may sound. These cells are not looking too good here. There's most likely, I'm surprised that they haven't included Moshannon State Forest. This right here looks like the low-level jet punching in behind this storm. Let me respond to this one real quick. There we go. And this storm right here looks more of like a bow echo type threat. So if you're not familiar with what a bow echo is a segment of a line of thunderstorms, or squall line, or there we go, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. There we go. So it did get issued for that area, just like I said. It should be issued there. So a bow echo is a segment or a line of thunderstorms, squall line, or what we call a QLCS, which stands for quasi-linear convective system that bows outward on radar reflectivity, almost appears as a backward C shape or like a bow. The center of the line surges forward faster than the end, so you guys can see that here. So let me draw this in. Right there, you can see this center part surging out, and this indicates strong winds pushing out ahead of the storm. So it's definitely not a good situation to be in. So this is where the rear inflow jet comes in. So the mid-level dry air accelerates into the storm, descends towards the surface, and enhances downdraft momentum transfer. And this creates a jet of fast-moving air punching into the system. Rain-cooled air descends, spreads outward at the surface, and this forms a density current or gust front. So most likely, if you guys are in Goshen here, you are most likely, if you look off to your east and especially to your northeast, west and northwest, you guys are most likely seeing a interesting shelf cloud. So if anybody lives in Goshen, definitely get some pictures of that. Do so safely, though. You definitely don't want to be caught in these storms. But yeah, it's definitely not good. So the primary threat for this storm is most likely going to be damaging winds. Straight line winds looks like the dominant hazard here, so 60-mile-per-hour winds. And these winds are going to be more widespread than tornado damage, so definitely be careful out there. Could have some brief tornadoes here, especially in the bookend vortices. So we got one to the south and one to the north. So these two appendages, so you see one in there, you see one in there. We could have brief spin-up tornadoes happen there. Could get some large hail, especially in the early stages of this, but we'll see what happens here. And flash flooding if training occurs, and unfortunately it looks like these areas most likely will be under a flash flood warning later on today. This includes Brookville, DuBois, Clearfield, down through Grass Flat. Man, you guys are getting hammered out here down towards Allport, Munson, Oak Grove. I hope you guys are definitely taking shelter there. These storms are very, very intense that are coming through. Wouldn't be surprised if a severe thunderstorm warning gets issued out here as well. This is towards Williamstown, Tower City, Tremont, Higgins, over towards Minnersville, Pottsville, and eventually towards Port Clinton. This could definitely pack a punch as well. Looks like most of the activity, at least the severe activity, is up to the north. So this is from Johnsonburg down through Phillipsburg and through Bellefonte. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it's definitely a big time bow echo coming through there. You guys can see that sort of backward C shape right there. And this is going to come right into State Game Lands 94 and State Game Lands 90 and Hobo Hill. And it looks like State Game Lands number 94 is going to take the brunt of this. Even up towards Moshannon State Forest and Huntley as well. So definitely get into your safe spot, folks. Get into a sturdy structure. I don't think a mobile home is going to cut it here. We'll have to see what's going on. And let me see. Yeah, it looks like there could be a little bit of rotation up towards just to the southwest of Force here as the storm comes through. I'll definitely keep an eye on it as it does. This storm is just rolling on through. So this is hitting Windburn, Huckenberry. Going to go right over the radar site here. So this is going to go right over Rattlesnake Pike, right over the radar site. It's very interesting when these storms come through like that. And let's see. Nasty severe thunderstorm coming in, still quarter-size hail. And it looks like Robinson is included in this warning. Robinson, not Imperial yet. But this does include Kendall, Frankfort Springs. So this is out near Mineral Springs, Florence, Bavington, Burgettstown, State Game Lands number 117, Langeloth, Sloven, Cherry Valley, Atlasburg, Cross Creek, Eldersville, Hanlon Station, Dinsmore, Bertha, Florence. Hillman State Park is also in this storm. Or in the severe warning, I should say. So definitely be on the lookout if you are out there. Take shelter if you haven't done so yet. This storm, let me see here. Looks like about another 60 minutes before it reaches Cecil, McDonald, South Fayette, Sturgeon, Oakdale, Rennerdale. So about an hour and 15 minutes this storm will most likely be hitting my area. Yeah, let me see. Anything else going on nationwide at the moment? Got some 90s, almost 100 degrees down here in Texas. 91 out of the south of St. Louis. We got some minus 6 degrees up in Canada. So would you guys rather be in Canada at minus 6 degrees or dealing with thunderstorms at the moment at 83 degrees? Which weather do you guys prefer? Do you prefer cold weather, hot weather, sunny weather, stormy weather? I know this weather is pretty relaxing for some people, and it can be very anxiety-producing for others as well. This storm coming through Foxburg at the moment, Turnip Hole, Alum Rock, Turkey City, Monroe. Another bow echo coming through. I wouldn't be surprised if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued on this storm. Most likely in the next few minutes. I can definitely see some 60-mile-per-hour winds with this storm as well. It's got some broad rotation on it. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Definitely looks like it could be on the northern appendage there. Hartford Township up towards Burgle, heading over towards Shenango, Hadley, Clarks Mills, New Vernon, McQuiston Corners. Definitely be on the lookout for a storm coming through. So this is Mercer County up to the north. Weather intensity score for Pittsburgh still at 227. Last updated at 5:30. A little bit more rumbles of thunder out there outside the house. This storm is looking very interesting. There's a little bit of a bound weak echo region out in front of it. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little bit of a bound weak echo region there. So a bound weak echo region, or a BWER, or borer, as some people say. They used to say that in college when I was there. That's a localized region of weak radar reflectivity that is completely surrounded by higher reflectivity cores. A little bit there. Almost. Definitely looks like could be a powerful updraft there. I'm going to watch out for some hail on the southern tip of this storm as well. The hail embryos might get pretty big. It's going to be up towards Sligo, Mount Airy, Huey, Churchville. This is up towards, this is way to the north of Katanning. This is up near Knox and unfortunately in the Clarion area as well. Yeah, I'm just seeing some this hail reports. 1 3/4 hail there reported. Yes, we're going to see activity like this for a long while tonight, especially as the front comes through. Looks like we got some 2-inch hail. So this is just to the southeast of Utica. This is heading into Rocky Fort, Hickman, Reform, Perryton. Eventually it's going to cross into Frazeysburg and Dresden. Dresden. So we're going to have to watch that cell pretty carefully as it comes through. Looks like they could extend this severe thunderstorm warning. The cell to the north looks pretty strong, but this cell down to the south, this Richmond cell heading on towards Weircrest and Pleasant Valley, looks pretty strong. Just to the northwest of Frankfort Springs looks pretty strong also. And let me pull this in for you guys. See if I can get this camera to reload again. Maybe. All right, let me refresh this. I just want to show you guys some of the clouds happening in the Pittsburgh area at the moment. 84 degrees in Pittsburgh. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. This one does not seem to be working at the moment. Very interesting. Alright, let me see if I can add another window capture and bring this in. Nope. Very strange. Anyway, I wanted to try to show that to you guys, but it doesn't seem like that's responding very well. That's alright, we'll just keep on moving through. Alright, so we got another strong storm heading in, and with these storms coming in, it looks like the weather intensity score went up to 290 out of 500. Severe thunderstorm watch is active. Temperature down to 77. It's weird. Thermometer in Pittsburgh there was reading 84, but I probably believe the 77. 52 degree dew point. Dew point is coming up, so we're going to have to watch that carefully, especially as these storms come through. No tornado warnings yet. Knock on wood at this point. Hopefully we don't get one. That's a nasty cell coming in. It's going right over the radar site. So most likely this is an enclosed cell, but since the radar site is right here, we probably cannot see the enclosure. So this looks like a massive hook echo at the moment. Yeah, it looks like looks more of a microburst event coming through up here. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Another very strong storm heading through Dubois over through Oklahoma, heading through state game lands number 94. Looks like this severe thunderstorm warning has been extended for Dresden and Fredericksburg, Franklin. Basically, as I said it would earlier, getting pretty good at calling these severe thunderstorm warnings. So, severe thunderstorm warning issued for southern Coshocton County in east central Ohio, northwestern Guernsey County in east central Ohio, and northern Muskingum County in east central Ohio. At 5:36 p.m., 2 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles west of Frazeysburg, or 20 miles northwest of Zanesville. Moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazard is $half size hail. Damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Zanesville, Coshocton, New Concord, North Zanesville, Dresden, Frazeysburg, Conesville, Plainfield, Norwich, Drake, Bridgeville, Otsego, Cooperdale, Bowdoin, and Dillon State Park. Seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. This storm is capable of producing a large hail. And we can see the hail size come down to about an inch. And we'll see if this actually upticks back up to 2 inches. Very strong storm. In Newark, definitely want to be in your safe spot. Looks like a little appendage on the backside of this storm. A little bit of rotation there, broad rotation, nothing like tornadic at the moment. Still looking at a weather intensity score of 290 in the Pittsburgh area. That was last updated at 5:38, 1 minute ago. 8 severe thunderstorm warnings currently active. 0 flash flood warnings active at the moment. That's interesting. I figured there would be a lot more flash flood warnings active. 0 tornado warnings issued, and 0 tornado warnings active at the moment. Very strong cell heading into Frenchville, coming down into Moshannon, Snowshoe. Strong cell exiting the region here over towards Unionville. Unionville, you want to get into your safe place over towards Bellefonte, and eventually heading into Farmers Mill, Green Grove. You guys need to get into your safe spot just to make sure this storm comes through. Let the storm pass by before you go outside. It's pretty strong coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if this severe thunderstorm warning gets issued over towards Bellefonte, over towards Milheim and Aaronsburg. Got a couple more cells behind this, so if you are in Sylvan Grove, Drifting, Grass Flat, I know you guys just got impacted by one of these big storms. Unfortunately, you got 2 more big storms behind this. Looks like the storm's heading into my area, Weirton. You guys are getting impacted by this storm here. A little bit of appendage on the back side of this. We'll have to see what the cell merger does here, if this storm can catch up to this one, see if it weakens it, or if it completely collapses it, or if it does sort of more of a constructive interference and strengthens the storm heading over Weirton. Not too much in the way of rotation at the moment. We will definitely keep an eye out on that. Raccoon Creek State Park, guys just got hammered there. This is heading up towards Clinton, Pittsburgh International Airport, Forest Grove, Stowe Township, Millvale, and eventually heading off into Penn Hills. And there we go. Severe thunderstorm warning issued for Bellefonte, just like I said. National Weather Service, State College, PA, has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Center County in central Pennsylvania and northeastern Mifflin County in central Pennsylvania until 6:15 p.m. At 5:41 p.m., a minute ago, a severe thunderstorm was located near Milesburg, moving east at 55 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail are the hazards. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include State College, Bellefonte, Park Forest Village, Woodward, Bowlesburg, Pleasant Gap, Lamont, Zion, Hauserville, Center Hall, Milesburg, and Milheim. For those driving on Interstate 80, this includes areas between Snowshoe and Lamar exits, specifically from mile markers 150 to 169. This includes Interstate 99 from mile markers 67 to 85. Stay inside a well-built structure and keep away from windows. Almost 1 inch hail out here. Very nasty looking cells. I'm really surprised that Limestone and Summersville doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning on at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets issued. This storm coming in, most likely I could see a severe thunderstorm warning including Santiago, North Fayette, all the way up through Bond Mead, Edgeworth, and down through Rennerdale, Carnegie, Greentree, and most likely Pittsburgh. Could get in on the action here. Wouldn't be surprised if a severe thunderstorm warning gets issued. Probably the next, I'd say maybe 15 minutes or so. Strong storm coming into Glen Hope, Smoke Run, Ramey, Moran, Janesville, Madera, and Hootsdale, and Oak Ridge as well. This is heading towards Osceola Mills. State Game Lands number 33 as well. Be on the lookout if you are out there. Stronger storms coming in to the north. No lightning at the moment, but these are heading towards Sandy Lake, Franklin, Oil City, Woodland Heights, and Cranberry. Thank you all for joining me today. Definitely hope you guys are getting something out of this. Appreciate if you hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content. Yeah, this cell coming into Dresden, heading over towards Otsego, Bowdoin, Adamsville, Bloomfield. You definitely be on the lookout for these storms. They look pretty nasty coming in as well. Another 15 minutes on this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll see if this gets extended. Looks like this cell on the back side is taking a little bit of energy. Maybe a handoff here between this first cell and the second cell. You guys in Weirton are getting hammered right now. Hope you guys are in your safe spot. Quarter size hail, about 40 to 50 mile per hour winds coming through. Another cell merger going to take place here. This is most likely going to take place over Mingoville, Forest, and Zion. So we'll have to see if that weakens the storm. Constructive interference or destructive interference here. Nasty cell getting ready to head into Clearfield, Mount Joy, Bainey Settlement, Goshen, Egypt, Needful, Woodland, and over through Gallows Harbor. So you folks in Gallows Harbor, you just came out of a pretty nasty linear storm. Unfortunately, you got another nasty hailmaker behind that and 2 more storms behind that. So we're going to have to keep you guys updated as these storms come through. Storm coming through Clinton and Findlay Township, heading over towards the Pittsburgh International Airport, over through Coriopolis Heights. This is going to impact Imperial, Enloe, just on the north side of Fayetteville and Beechcliff there, heading over towards Robinson Township, Moon Run, eventually going into McKees Rocks, just to the north side of Pittsburgh. So this is going to head into central north side, over towards Brighton Heights. So the WPXI area, if you guys are watching, you want to be in your safe spot. Coming up here in about 30 minutes or so. About 15 to 25 minutes. I can hear the rumbles of thunder out there coming in. Not sure if you guys can pick that up through the mic or not. I don't think so, but... Wouldn't be surprised if Glen Hope, Ramey, and Moran and State Game Lands number 60, you guys get a severe thunderstorm warning on this storm, or at least a special weather statement. This storm coming through Limestone. You guys just got hammered up there. This is heading towards Ramseytown, Knoxdale, Wishaw, and Sykesville. This should probably have a severe thunderstorm warning on it as well. Definitely some hail, probably approaching nickel size there. Maybe dime size, nickel size hail. The storm is now heading into Frazeysburg, Dresden. This will most likely get extended towards Center, Old Washington, Middlebourne, and eventually heading out towards Barnesville. That's probably going to be about 45 minutes to an hour or so, maybe a little bit more, hour and 10 minutes. Weather intensity score has come down from 290 to 265 in the Pittsburgh area. So you got a storm to the south. This is heading over towards Mount Oliver, Brentwood, Mount Lebanon, Castle Shannon. You guys are getting hit there. Munhall, you guys are still getting hit with some big raindrops there. Down through what is that? Fight Station, just to the south of North Versailles. You guys are getting hit there. Trafford, eventually over towards Pleasant Valley and Bouquet, and over towards Delmont. Sorry guys, I got four monitors going on, so if you see me turning and doing all kind of weird, motions over here, so I got one monitor here, got the monitor here with the camera, I got the radar, I got OBS up on that monitor there. So if you guys are wondering why I'm looking all around and not looking directly at the camera, I got all kind of stuff going on around here. Yeah, Du Bois, you guys are getting hit again, and then probably within another 15 minutes after that, you're going to get hit, and then about another 45 minutes after that, you guys are going to get blasted by that stronger storm coming through. Burgettstown and Langeloth, you guys are getting ready to get into the heavier rain. Hanlon Station, you guys are getting pounded by some heavier rain, maybe a little bit of hail there. Eldersville, just on the southern tip of that storm. Looks like maybe dime to nickel size hail coming down as well. Definitely possible. This is over towards Paris. This is going to head into State Game Lands number 117. And just to the north side of Burgettstown. So this is going to be on Bavington Road, Walnut Street, Alley Street. So if you guys are familiar with that area, that's most likely where the hail core is going to pass over. Strong storm heading over the Pittsburgh International Airport at the moment. Curious to see what the weather intensity score goes up to whenever this storm comes through the Pittsburgh area in about 15 to 20 minutes. That was probably an ASMR sound right there. Apologize for that. Drinking Sprite. I normally don't like to drink sugary drinks like that, but man, Belafonte getting hit. Mingoville getting ready to hit Forest and Zion. Hope you guys are in your safe spot. This most likely will get extended over towards Laurelton, Wykert, Kissimmee, that's how you say it, over towards Middleburg and Coon Hunter as well. Got 6 active warnings at the moment. Still hear some rumbles of thunder. Not too bad for being in an enhanced risk. I was shocked that we didn't have tornadoes to begin with this setup. Temperatures down to 75 in the Pittsburgh area. It says 83 here, but the actual data that I'm going off of, looking at 75-degree dew point up to 54. Dew point is increasing. So as these storms come through, they're going to be able to tap into a little bit more moisture. Yeah, so we're gaining a little bit more of low-level moisture here in the Pittsburgh area, down through Green Tree, Carnegie, Rennerdale, Heidelberg, Coriopolis Heights, Imperial. So the air is definitely starting to contain more water vapor, and looks like it's becoming more fuel loaded for convection as well. And unfortunately, as these dew points rise in the area, that's going to lead to a decrease in cloud bases. So the temperature and dew point get closer. The air is going to reach saturation faster when lifted, and the lower LCLs, or lifted condensation level, that's going to cause clouds to form closer to the ground. Unfortunately, this is critical for tornado potential because lower cloud bases equals more efficient stretching of vertical vorticity. So we're going to have to watch that carefully. We're going to get some stronger low-level instability as well, better moisture in the inflow region, and more favorable storm relative helicity interactions. So we're going to have to watch that. If the dew points get up to 60, we're going to have to watch storms become stronger. We could have an increased tornado threat as well if that occurs. Right now we're at, looks like 54 degrees for the dew point and 47% relative humidity. Temperatures may actually drop into the upper 60s by 6 p.m. Dew point may rise up to 62. That's going to be that will be very interesting if that occurs. Still no severe thunderstorm warning on this storm heading into Ramseytown, Knoxdale, Reynoldsville, and eventually into Prescottville. Brookville, you guys are getting hammered. Stanton, you're getting hammered as well. A little bit of rotation, especially on the southern flank of this storm down towards Pansy, Cold Spring. Yeah, we'll have to watch that. Looks like the storm does have some good clean inflow out ahead of it. So it's definitely good for ingesting. Unfortunately, it might ingest some of this rain cold air here. But we will see. I almost thought this right here, was like a big hail spike coming from one of these storms here. That's very, very far out though. Quarter size hail coming in. All right, so if you live in Santiago, Robinson, to the south of Robinson, Babington, Burgettstown, Champion, North Fayette Township, Fayetteville, Beechcliff, Oakdale, Gregg, Rennerdale, Carnegie, Heidelberg, Pennsbury Village, Thornburg, Idlewood, Crafton, Dormont, get ready. Mount Lebanon, get ready for some quarter-size hail coming in. Most likely within about 30 minutes. Don't see any extensions of the severe thunderstorm warning yet. 280 in weather intensity score in downtown Pittsburgh. 73 degree temperature, 55 degree dew point. We're getting closer there. Cloud bases are going to start lowering as the storm comes through. We're going to see what happens here. Yeah, if you guys can hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. Leave me a comment as well. It'd be much appreciated. Burgettstown, you guys are getting hit with some crazy rain here. The pavilion at Star Lake, though, there's going to be some flooding concerns here right off the Babington exit there. It always seems to flood there. So you guys are going to have to watch out for that. Definitely some torrential rain. We're going to have to watch these two discrete cells that just formed. This is heading towards Moscow, New Manchester. This is eventually going to go towards Independence, Ambridge, Bell Acres, and just to the south of Wexford. And eventually off into Blackstone and Harrison Township there. Still got 6 severe thunderstorm warnings active. I'm waiting to see 100 degree temperatures appear down here. I've been waiting for that. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Been going for about an hour, almost an hour and a half now. The storm is a little concerning. We'll see if we lose power in my area when this storm comes through. It's just exited Weirton. Heading into Burgettstown, going into Balger, Candor, McAdams, Sturgeon, Noblestown, Oakdale. Gonna head down into the Mount Lebanon area. And Carnegie, Pennsbury Village, Robinson Township. We may get the northern side of this. Robinson Township, if you guys look to your north over towards Moon Run. So Moon Run, Robinson Township. If you look to your north, you guys can see a nasty storm passing over the radar site, going right over Coriopolis. Weather intensity score 280, updated a minute ago. 55-degree dew point still increasing. Severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire on this Burgettstown storm. That's actually pretty surprising to me. Maybe the hail has come down. Yes, the hail does look like it's coming down. There we go. It's probably under pea-sized hail now. And it looks like that storm has significantly weakened in the latest run there. So this is heading into Balger, getting out of Babington there, Champion. This is going to head into North Fayette Township, Gregg, down through, even Carnegie's going to get in on the action, Heidelberg. Pennsbury Village, this might just miss you to the south, but you might get clipped by this northern part of the storm. Heading down towards Buffalo, Gretna, Export, and Cannonsburg. So Cannonsburg, you guys are under the gun of a storm coming in. Non-severe at the moment. Give it about 10 to 15 minutes. This storm will be over your area. If you look to the north, up towards Muse, you can see a storm coming in there. Muse, get to your safe place there. No severe warning on it. But nevertheless, these storms can easily spin up, as we've seen all day with these warnings. Storms are getting a little bit weaker here. We're going to have to watch this C-shaped storm here towards Moshannon and Snowshoe. We're going to have to watch this for just a little bit of rotation. If it can get a little bit more pronounced there, we'll have to watch that carefully. Man, we're getting... So it looks like everything is under 1-inch hail so far, except over here. We're going to have to watch this storm coming into Adamsville, Bloomfield. So we're looking at golf ball size hail now, folks. So that's 1 3/4 inches in diameter. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roof, siding, windows, and vehicles until 6:15. Another 15 minutes of this storm. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets extended over towards Cambridge here. So this is... moving over Dresden, moving east at 45 miles per hour. We got golf ball size hail. This is heading towards, looks like Plainfield, Norwich, Drake, Otsego, Cooperdale, Bowdoin, and Dillon State Park. Anyone outdoors should move to shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows immediately. This storm is capable of producing dangerous hail. Continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. So definitely move indoors, folks. Damage threat is considerable on this storm. Let me check and see what's going on here. Yeah, maybe a little mesocyclone trying to form to the south of Woodrow. This is just went over Cross Creek Lake. This is going to head towards Export, Midland, and to the north of Cannonsburg. The strongest part of the storm should be on the north side of Cannonsburg. So this is going to be near, looks like West Pitt Street, East Pitt Street, and North Jefferson Avenue. Up towards the Cannonsburg Town Park Amphitheater. I have trouble saying that. In Cannonsburg Town Park Skate Park there. Looks like that's where the heaviest part of the storm is going to come through. I'll definitely keep an eye on it as it does. Getting ready to get hit in our area. See if this storm clips us or not. Down to 4 thunderstorm warnings at the moment. Very interesting out here as well. So they finally issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this one. Severe thunderstorm warning for Center County and central Pennsylvania and southeastern Clinton County and north central Pennsylvania. Expect tree damage to roof siding and trees, 60-mile-per-hour winds. So at 6:01, a severe thunderstorm was located over Snowshoe, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Locations impacted include Bellefonte, Woodward, Pleasant Gap, Lamar, Zion, Mill Hall, Milesburg, Millheim, Snowshoe, Blanchard, Clarence, and Aaronsburg. For those driving on Interstate 80, this includes areas between the Kylertown and Jersey Shore exits, specifically between mile markers 141 and 187. This includes Interstate 99 from mile marker 79 to 85. Not much in the way of hail there, but we are getting that damaging wind threat because of that Bow Echo type signature on radar. These storms have broken up into 3 different cells here, maybe even 4 different cells. This is heading into Mount Lebanon, Whitehall, Castle Shannon, Upper St. Clair, Coal Valley, Hendersonville getting slammed right now. And then eventually Canonsburg, you guys are going to get hit. Looks like this storm is congealing a little bit. Let me see if I can see the hail there. Yeah, not much in the way of hail, maybe pea size, maybe even smaller than that. Some graupel probably coming down. .280 score here in Pittsburgh. We got some new storms popping up. We got storm coming into Cranberry, storm coming through Fairview, heading over into Cranberry again. State Game Lands number 39. This one's coming out of Howland Township. This is going to head towards Shenango, River Lake, and Clark. And unfortunately, these are going to be the training type storms. We're going to have to watch for flash flooding from the Cranberry to Warren corridor here. Still looking at golf ball size hail coming in. This is heading into Adamsville. Let's get a pinpoint on strong part of the core. Yes, the strong part of the core is going to go right over Adamsville. This is going to be Adamsville, Otsego Road, Adamsville Community Fire Department and EMS. Be on the lookout for some big-time hail coming in about 5 to 10 minutes from now. Well, I hope you guys like the new stream setup. Hope you guys, hopefully it's pretty cool to see. Like I said, this is the first time that I have really done a face cam before. So hopefully you guys enjoy my face. It'd be awesome. You can see the lightning strikes appearing. Also, if you see my chair, if you see all these scratches and bumps, this is actually from my cat. My cat loves to come in the office, and right now, surprisingly, she's not in here. Neither of them are in here. I'm surprised, but they like to come in here and rip my chair apart. So yeah, they they like to scratch it up. But yeah, I do have a couple pictures on the wall there, if you can see a little bit. So there's Mike Bettis from Weather Channel. Above him is Jim Cantori. Can't really see it there, but we got the Twistex team. We got Dr. Fujita. We got Reed Timmer there. And we got Dominate the Storm. So Dominate the Storm there. We got a few pictures of tornadoes. We got Einstein back here. Got a little green screen thing for the chair. I don't really use it often. There's a 55-inch TV hanging behind my head as well. Working on 4 monitors. Got a nice setup. Got the, it's not too bad. Looking pretty good. But, let's see. If nothing gets extended here, I might actually jump off for a little bit. Might come back on later. We will see, because it's been about an hour and 40 minutes or so that I've been on here. But yeah, thank you to all who came in and viewed this video. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I see there's a couple new subscribers there. Thank you to all the likes as well. Appreciate it. Sorry, I'm just going to respond to this message real quick. A couple people asking, they asking about the storms coming into their area later on tonight. Bethel Park, you guys are getting hammered at the moment. Looks like it's going to head towards West Library, South Park Township, Gill Hall, Cochran's Mill, Jefferson Hills, Clairton, eventually towards Mount Vernon as well. Gonna have to watch these storms up to the north, folks. Cranberry, Sandy Lake. These are gonna head towards some of the same areas. Cook Forest State Park, Cooksburg. Head towards State Game Lands 28, Ridgeway, and again, St. Mary's is going to be under the gun later on tonight. Most likely within about 45 minutes to an hour or so. Still got golf ball size hail ongoing towards Adamsville. This is going to head towards Cambridge, Kipling, Lower City, Quaker City, Bailey's Mills. Another storm coming into Leechdale, Edgeworth, Sewickley, Glen Osborne, and Moon Township and Coriopolis. A couple more storms behind that as well in about 30 minutes. This is going to hit Clinton in about 30 minutes, Robinson, Bellevue, McKees Rocks. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for some of these storms. They could definitely get pretty strong. So we'll have to watch that carefully as we go on through. Yeah, so make sure you guys, I'm going to put the links in the description real quick. So I do have a few Facebook pages. So I'm going to put this one in the description for you guys. So this is the Pittsburgh Weather Authority page, if you guys want to go ahead and follow that. And I have the World Weather Authority group page on Facebook as well. I will put that in the description. Also, if you guys would like to donate to the channel, it is, you can if you want to. It's not, you don't have to. I will put the PayPal link there as well. Definitely thank you for your support. We appreciate everything. And just by liking this video and sharing it out there, I mean, that's honestly enough for us, and we appreciate it. Weather intensity score is still up to 280 in Pittsburgh. Last updated at 610. Canonsburg, you guys are getting it on the rain at the moment. This is going through Midland, Strabane, Houston, down through McGovern, Meadowlands as well, Canonsburg, all the way up through, looks like Venice. That's how you say that. South Park Township, you guys are going to get hammered here pretty soon. Edgeworth as well. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you guys joining me. So I'm probably going to hop off of here in about 2 minutes. So if you have anything to say in the comments, now is the time to do so. I mostly update on the Facebook page, so Pittsburgh Weather Authority and World Weather Authority, and I understand that a lot of people don't like Facebook. I somewhat like, I like Facebook. It allows me to post and get the message across pretty easily there. Don't be surprised because my weather briefings are like the reading posts, the ones that you read there. They can get pretty heavy there. I do post like paragraph on paragraph, but I do try to explain everything to the point where people can understand. A few years ago, it was actually a little hard for me to explain things in to sort of like, bring it down from an advanced level. It was kind of hard for me to do that, but I've been finding it pretty easy now for me to do that. So let me see here. Looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm warning here to include Center, Old Washington, Cambridge, New Concord, Byesville, Lower City, Quaker City, Batesville, and Senecaville. and up towards Londonderry as well, and Kimbolton. So let's take a look at this real quick. Severe thunderstorm warning for, here we go, move that over. Northwestern Belmont County in east central Ohio, south central Coshocton County in east central Ohio, Guernsey County in east central Ohio, northeastern Muskingum County in east central Ohio, and northeastern Noble County in east central Ohio. So at 6:11 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles northwest of New Concord or 12 miles south of Coshocton, moving east at 45 miles per hour. The hazard is $half size hail. Damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Cambridge, New Concord, Byesville, Dresden. I think Dresden's actually out of it right now. Antrim, Quaker City, Senecaville, Conesville, Lower City, Old Washington, Salesville, Norwich, Otsego, Drake, Fairview, Batesville, Bowdoin, Kimbolton, and Salt Fork State Park. So seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. This storm is capable of producing large hail. Continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Pretty strong cell coming into Wolfdale as well. This one may actually need... This one here might actually get a special weather statement on it. Be surprised if it didn't actually. Gonna watch these storms up to the north as well. Some discrete cells forming once again. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna hop off of here for a little bit. Probably go find some food. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's the latest on this severe weather situation. I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for tuning in, staying weather aware, and being part of this community. Your support truly means everything, especially during moments like this when accurate and timely information can truly protect lives. That's our number one goal here. My number one goal is to protect people's lives. And if you found this coverage helpful in any way, and if you'd like to support what I do, you can donate through the PayPal link in the description as well as in the chat. It helps me continue improving the stream, the technology, and the coverage for you and your families. Also, don't forget, I also have both children's books. So I have a Halloween book and a Thanksgiving book on Amazon. That's in my description as well. I also have an adult cryptid coloring book available on Amazon. Those are all linked in the description down below as well. It's definitely a fun and creative way to support the channel while getting something meaningful in return. And before I go, I just want to take a moment to end us in prayer, if that's okay. So Heavenly Father, we come before you in a time where your power is on full display. Through the forces of nature, we ask you to protect. We ask you for your protection over every single person in this stream that likes the video, that's in the path of these storms. And we want you to calm the winds, shield the homes of every single person here, and place your hand over your families and first responders working through this event. And give wisdom to those making decisions, and give peace to those who are anxious, and strength to those who may be impacted by any severe weather situation today, whether that be hail, tornadoes, gusty winds, power outages, things like that, flooding. Let your presence be felt even in the midst of the storm, and remind us that you are our refuge and our shelter. And in Jesus' mighty name, we pray, amen. And stay safe out there, folks. Stay weather aware. And I'll be right here with you as the situation continues to evolve. I'll be here. I'll try to post on YouTube a little bit. Like I said, I mostly post on Facebook now. It's just an easier way to get things through because not a lot of people see the post tab on YouTube. But if you do see the post tab and you want to leave me a comment there, that'd be great. Leave a comment on this video as well. I appreciate it, and share this information so that way it gets into the hands of people that need it the most. And I appreciate all of your support, and always remember, never stop chasing.